Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles of Bust number 694 today, doing battle with Vanessa. And so, nearing the end of Season 1, very excited to see what we can do here. I'm sure we're going to get a badass build together. See if we can't have ourselves a fun little game. Assuming it loads. There we go. There we go, good stuff. And so yeah, gonna jump in, gonna grab that gold tier skill like we do every single game. See if we get a good one. And so, yeah, it's a pretty shitty set of items out here, but it does bring up some kind of interesting points to at least talk about with Vanessa in the sense that it's very easy to take the weapon skills and just be off to the races. After that, I do think the poison and burn skills are the strongest ones, but if you can very easily go through the first few days without even finding a poison or a burn item, and then the run typically falls apart from there. And so it can be very high risk, high reward to pull that kind of thing off. But things like Right Eye can still be good, right? It wants to be in something like a single item weapon build, or it wants to be something that has like a big singular weapon, like a pufferfish or a depth charge. But it's fine. But I'm also kind of interested in something like Peaceful Eye. It should work fantastically in the likes of a aquatic build. Just go wide aquatic stuff. But when it comes down to it, I think I would rather have my one big item popping off with the crits as opposed to everything having a smaller chance. And so we'll just take the Right Eye, see what that brings us up to. We can come out here to JJ, see if anything interesting turns up. Fairly weak day one on the shop. Rifle isn't a real item in this patch. Fishing rod I don't want to deal with without already having a pufferfish, so let's just take a roll. Maybe we'll get something interesting out here. And it's not great, but I think we can pick up the trebuchet. It's the thing that I have with trebuchet is we kind of mentioned this in an earlier video as to where Vanessa doesn't have a lot of bronze items. As far as large items go, she has Trebuchet, Cove, and Crow's Nest. And if we're wanting to land on a Crow's Nest beer build, then rolling out a Trebuchet gives us like a 50-50 shot if we're down here at bronze. And so I'm a little interested in that. The scary thing with it is like if we hit Cove, we just lose the game, right? Like I would much rather be in a spot to where I accidentally got a Cove and then we roll the Cove and get whatever turns up that way. But we got to get some kind of direction here, and so we'll at least pick up the trebuchet. It's at least a kind of real item here in the early game, and so maybe we can make something work with it for the first couple of days and not be in mega high roll mode if Mandala turns up. I bought a Cove the other day. I haven't gone 0 and 6 in a long time. But I definitely went 0 and 6 with the Cove. It's in such a shitty spot. I was thinking back to those days where it was like, man, like Captain's Wheel was the best item that Vanessa had in the patch, and Cove was a reasonable activator for it if you weren't using Crow's Nest. And, you know, the builds weren't that great, but they were, you know, pretty consistent 7 winners or so. But man, I got it, and it just sucked so much ass. And so I don't really want to go back down that route. Now here we're immediately just like losing the opportunity to take this build, right? So B1 B2 turns up, and we'd prefer to be upgrading our large item, right? That upgrades 3 hexes of our board instead of 1 hex of our board. I guess we don't have to just try and roll for Crow's Nest, right? This can just be a thing on its own. And so let's continue on with the trebuchet. It wasn't really what I was planning to do. I feel like the last video we put together was also a trebuchet build with Zor Acid, and so not trying to do that twice. I think that build had strength though, or it had left-handed, right-handed. Not out here with just the crit item. But right, you can see with the opponent in their build, that's exactly what I was talking about. They went big with the right burn, and then they didn't find any burn items, and so their board is kind of shitty at this point to where, you know, their grenade is popped and their weapons suck now. But we're at least getting this 25% crit chance on our trebuchet. Might give us a chance to win this one. Needs one more pop and we'll be good to go.
Does not defeat me.
Got the crit just for good measure. Yeah, it's a little scarier with Mandala now. If we want to roll the the trebuchet, there's lots of big items that can turn up in place of just the few small ones before. Why use many words when little words do? Why not? Why not? But here, let's pick up this Finn's Big Bite. We don't really have a ton of money at this point, and so the regen will be fairly useful here in the early game. And with this, I do like Arms Dealer. Very important to just be picking up health with a lot of the Vanessas running around with the small items. They tend to fail a bit with this Arms Dealer on board, giving us an extra 300-400 health over the course of the game. Now here's our shot, right? He's here. Do we want to just go for it? This is what dreams are made of, huh? Seeing what Mandala can turn up on day 2. All right, squeeze them cheeks with me, boys. Get them tight. Get them strong. Water wheel. That was the one that came to my head as being a potential option for the round. Not as disaster mode as Cove, but not something that we're actually shooting for. And so, yeah, I think we can beat Giant. I bet we can't beat Giant Mosquito. I don't think we can beat any of these rounds now. I don't think we can beat any of them. Oh, is this one of them? Shit. I think we'll be okay. But this is another one of these to where you can just take out all your items and you just win. Right? The Proboscis won't activate if we don't have anything that the Amber can target. Now, he's not dealing enough damage to fight through our regen, and so we didn't get completely smoked in that sense, but it's good to know that you can just go into this one and automatically win if you pull all your items out. Alright, picking up the water wheel, though. Fucking Mandala. That's what I get for talking trash about Mandala over and over again. I hate how much that encounter turns up for Vanessa. So, he knows. He knows Bust doesn't like it.
As spineless as a jellyfish.
Alright, what you got for us here? The Proboscis turns up. Okay. See what we can do. Got to go to the item shop, though. Ideally, we'll be kind of converting over to aquatic. No guarantees we can really pull that off. Cutlass is just so bad without any help. Pick up the coral. It's going to be our last shot at a round, though, so I think we have to take the Cutlass. Really want to find like a small poison item or something. Doesn't turn up. Definitely don't have the money to buy diving helmet. Don't want it anyways, but we don't have the money for it. So this is it, huh? This is our build at the moment. Oh Jesus. Okay. Okay. Do we have anything for this friend or toys? What we got? Check the loot real quick. Weapons and aquatics and stuff. Don't have it there. I'm leaning towards just getting an item. We don't have any money. Again, like I'd like to find a puffer fish or something to go with this water wheel, but it is what it is. I'm gonna put the pet rock in, try and at least pop up this Cutlass a little bit. Never winning, never winning, but it is what it is, you know. Maybe this guy's build is just horrible. Looks like he's got a power drill and 3 bugs already. Never winning this one. This 8 poison bug would be enough on its own. Alright, this is what it is. Y'all didn't squeeze them cheeks hard enough, I tell you what to do. You don't listen. given the prime advice out here on how to win these games, and you don't even fucking listen. Dick. Maybe you'll squeeze him the next time Mandala turns up. There's at least one of you out there, right? You're just in the office at work, got Bust on in the background, just hard clenching your butt cheeks. I appreciate that. That one of you out there doing it. I certainly appreciate it. Alright, let's go, though. B1, B2 will take the upgrade onto Cutlass, at least get a little bit more damage on board. Not too promising. Bronze tier aquatic hopefully gives us a poison. Doesn't. Fishing rod. Alright, well, let's go to the medium item shop. Maybe a pufferfish will turn up. Could use volcanic vents. Like, this at least gives us an angle to victory with volcanic vents and life preserver. It's not super strong at the moment because it doesn't have enough burn on it to keep the stack going. You need 14 burn to keep stacking up on your opponent with this thing, but it's a good activator for this water wheel, and it gives us a bit of direction. And I'm also a little interested in this life preserver, just as a kind of crow's nest replacement for the moment. Now, do you want to roll a little bit more? Like, I'm not even opposed to just selling Cutlass at this point. Look at that B1, B2 as a 2 gold buddy, and then Move on from there. Is that okay? Yeah. Seems just a little bit better. Seems kind of greedy to spend that money and speculating that hard. Just really need to find a puffer fish. But we can fight the Tempest Flame Dancer. That wouldn't be horrible if we spike the flames or if we spike a Cutlass. We can still get the Cutlass now, right? Even though we have the silver one in our bag. Seems like that's the duplicate protection got removed a while ago. All right, though. Look at all those burns stacking up on the opponent. Feels good. What you got for us? The crit thing. It's at least a little bit better, right? they reworked the Flame Dancer to be 5, 10, 15% crit for your burn items instead of just like 2 across the board. So that's at least a bonus. Take this small item. Not useful now, but that's okay. And then we can go to the Mountain Pass. If we spike a PvE opponent and win, then we'll get the level up before the next round. I think we're willing to risk it here. Boiler Room Brawler, great. This is another one that just can't beat you. And so, bit of a nice roll there. Bunch of garbage in terms of his items, unless you can spike that energy potion, but this could be huge, getting those extra experience points, getting those extra stats on board. Just let us take our garbage-ass build into the next round and potentially get a win. Fucking Mandala. Ugh. Alright, though. We're fine. Plenty of health. Got that extra burn stack on him and stuff. Oh, we tied. Wow. That was a lot closer than expected, I guess. What you got for us, fam? The haste thing. Interesting, as we could potentially find a usage for the water wheel, right? When you haste, gain the shield. Not useless. And then upgrade a bronze. I feel like the long-term solution is just upgrading the life preserver, but we're in kind of a shitty spot right now to where we're never winning on day 15, so we need to try and spike our wins where we can. And so upgrading the volcanic vents is what I think is going to give us a better chance of winning these combats. Now with this, we can bring the Cutlass back in, mainly as just an activator onto the water wheel. It's not anything too spectacular here, but does a bit of minimal damage and helps us get the activations for the hastes. This dude's level 4 as well. Looks like he's got a bunch of red damage out here. Maybe we'll be okay with our life preserver giving us that extra boost to health. This feels like those classic dualies back when we used to play dualie. Get your get your pulse rifle out here going. Now we're gonna get smoked this round. We're not doing nearly enough damage, but I feel like we had a shot. Okay. Boy, oh boy. Here's Mandala. You wanna roll the dice again? Let's do it. Let's do it. Large item. Port. Somehow even worse than what we already had. Fuck. Fuck. Okay. Where did this mantis shrimp come from? Did we just get that for the... Oh, it came from the fishing rod. Okay. I knew you get the small items out of the port, and I thought that was some kind of weird interaction. It's not. And so here, let's go with the haste and slow items. The docks aren't super workable. We don't have the experience point thing at the moment, and so let's see if we get a bit of a build around out here. Now, Shark Ray, little interesting. Well, it was a little interesting when we had a water wheel. It's less interesting now. We don't have anything that hastes, but I could see an angle towards building with it. I mean, we got a fishing rod, right? Fishing rod with with Shark Ray is the build of the day. Yeesh. I mean, I think we're stuck picking up Javelin. I don't want it, but it is, at least a higher damage item at this point. Gives us something to do with this port on board. And then rolling is probably just too expensive. Oh, what kind of fucking mess did we get ourselves into? So we got port in here. I'm gonna take this dumbass item out. Put the javelin in. I think that's good as it's gonna get. Alright, let's fight the boiler room brawler again. The Hellbilly and the Tyree aren't going to give us any decent Vanessa items, and so we're probably least likely to lose this one. And then again, if we get to pick up the energy potion, maybe now that we picked up port, the game will agree that energy potion's where we deserve, and we'll get to snatch that up. Oh, what a stupid ass build. Mandala. Whew.
You're good.
I forget how shitty all these items were. I just forgot how many large items are just so bad with Vanessa right now. Alright, so that's fine. Let's go to the non-weapon items, I guess, see what comes up here. We got plenty of stuff to sell if there's anything to purchase. Guess we'll take Coral. It's on our board. The captain's quarters is just nowhere close to being good with what we're doing, although I would prefer the captain's quarters to using the port. The thing with the captain's quarters, I really like using the captain's wheel and then the small submarine, and so that gets you to the point to where the quarters are charging onto the wheel is then quick activating back onto the quarters. The submarine is way out away from the thing, so it gets the haste away from captain's wheel, and then it also gets the scaling damage, but I'm only pausing to stop and think about this because I know that we have the javelin, and reloading the ammo on the javelin's kind of nice. Oh shit, almost accidentally re-rolled. I don't think we have any tools in here that are interesting, right? Goggles, not that interesting. Yeah. Alright, let's skip past it. Need some money though. Alright, day 2, what you got for us? Okay. This is stuff that would have been perfect if we if we didn't have port. And so I think we do want to come in and get Catfish, Dive Weights, Pearl. It's just the entirety of the aquatic package is just out here. Let's see how we can do this and make some money. So we want Dive Weights, want the Catfish. Get rid of Revolver. We'll never use that. That'll get us a Pearl. Alright, so we at least have something now, right? We're going to get a level up here quickly. Don't really have the money to mess around at Andy's shop, though. Alright, what do we got? Looks like we're pushing out into the space of being aquatic. Get 2 weapon skills out to the right. Not super excited about. I guess we'll just take the... Stop that. It's not that great, but... We don't have the money to be out here spending. Whew, so that's fine. It's like I kind of want to work in the powder flask for this javelin, but I don't think that's really in the mix today. But hey, we're gonna get 2 small items next round. One from the port, one from the fishing rod. This must be what it feels like to be Pygmalion. You just get all these bonuses. Oh, I guess we can reload the javelin, right? We have the dive weights. That helps a little bit. See how hard this shark ray is gonna scale on us. I don't think we're going to be able to kill him fast enough. He's going to do 300 damage on this pop. We don't have enough heal. Managed to get the crit. 69% crit chance. Nice. Whew. Okay. We got to recover somehow, huh? It's got to be doable. Start off with the dig site. Maybe we'll find something exciting out here. Pufferfish turns up. Okay. What did we land this round? Battery? Battery is always an interesting one to have pop up. Just not a powerful ability that you don't typically get access to as Vanessa. Okay, and then Pufferfish is here, so he gives us a build around target. Oops, that stuff doesn't cost any money.
Who left these
That's
things
okay.
behind?
All right, so that looks good. Let's hit up the item shop now. Now that we finally got a bit of direction out here, we can find something to do. Bunch of weapons on day one though. That kind of sucks. Orange Julian. I did get a 10-win build with Orange Julian yesterday. It felt so good. I posted it up on the website, on the ftpbus.com website. Very proud of getting a 10-winner with Julian. It was with Crow's Nest, Julian, Obsidian, Butterfly, Diamonded, so it did 4x multi-strike, and then double silencer, and the cooldown horse, I think is what I was finishing with. And so no, it wasn't the cooldown horse. It was something that was like, I don't remember, but there were only two activators on the board, Julian and the butterflies. And so then I also had the thing that when you crit, you got to charge. And so it was like the knife thing would activate, and then Julian would put like 300 damage on it. And then since it was obsidian, it counted as kind of like 600 damage. It was a huge scaling thing that we pulled off. I was very happy with that one. I'd wish we'd gotten to record it. All right, though. Next day, what do we got here? I'd kind of like to get this javelin out of here. Sell it. That's the easy answer. Want to get Zoracid in here doing a bit of hasty stuff. And then we can put the battery out here on our good unit and pufferfish. Okay. We at least got some combos on the board now. Can go to the Gorgon Noble, try and pick up some poison stuff. It's a kind of a day late and a dollar short in terms of trying to get the 10 wins, but we've definitely got the tools now to potentially push this up to 7. Finding something like shot glasses would be spectacular, and we'll just have to see where the build goes from here. Phew, fucking Mandala. Tossing a giant-ass wrench in our day. We're gonna win this round, right? That was a lot closer than I expected. What you got? When you poison, freeze. Okay.
Now this is how you win a war.
Aquatic item, sure. Salt Claw. A little interested in things like old Salt Claw. You gotta kind of watch yourself when you've got the... when you've got the proboscis, the old Salt Claw, the pufferfish, the potential for shot glasses really kind of shoots up, and so we'll see if that rears its head. Also, having battery, like anything that charges, is so interesting with shot glasses, since everything is slowed, and it gives you a way to still get faster activations out of your stuff. So that looks good. Don't have any EXP things for the docks, so let's just go to the non-weapon items. Maybe something will turn up here. Hey, is our friend Water Wheel. You remember when we were a Water Wheel build for about a day and a half? I remember that. And here's, of course, Crow's Nest turning up just fucking way too late. And so, do we ever... I mean... Huh. It's like, I get that we've got our kind of pufferfish thing happening at the moment, but... Is there a world to where we ever switch to be like a Shark Ray build? Since we already have the dive weights to activate that way. We could look to just put old Salt Claw on the board and maybe get something happening with him. He doesn't have a ton of activation potential now, but let's pick up this Crow's Nest. I think there's definitely a chance for something real there. And then, do we want to, say, Cannonball with the battery? Maybe. Maybe. We'll pick that up. We can do like Cannonball dive weights, right? Something like this. And then we just need to get a non-critting aquatic at the end if we want. Is that possible? Right? We're looking to do this to where the Cannonball just pops off on both of our items. It's just if we want to get the cooldown reduction on the dive weights, we lose the crit on the pufferfish. Okay, we'll stop. We'll think about that. I do want to get these chocolate bars though, so let's sell some stuff. That thing can go. I guess powder flask can go. We picked up a cannonball. Only got 4 slots now. I'm not really willing to sell any of this stuff. Alright, We'll lose 10 health. All right, all right. Let's see what we can do. We got some direction, huh? We got some angles to potentially pivot to. Depends on what turns up, how things go. Okay. This thought it was going to be a Lang Zang build with the Bloodhound and the Aquatic Rush on the skills, but another Poison Bro out here. We'll start to pop off eventually once our dive weights gets to activate. Getting the dive weights on the pufferfish, the battery on the pufferfish. Got here big time. The thing that's scary with this is he's got seaweed and we don't, and so very tough to fight through. Looks like we're gonna tie. Take it. Okay, okay. Fighting hard to get to 4 wins. Gotta fight hard to not lose any LP, huh? Oh boy, here's the Mandala. You want to go to Mandala, huh? Maybe we get maybe we get something. No, we're done with that. We're done with that experiment today. So we're at non-weapon items. That's fine. Found a pearl. Found a seaweed. Yeah, this crow's nest experiment's probably gonna end the day just being an experiment. But I think it was worth a pickup and a shot. Nothing too big there. Not opposed to keeping this life preserver in for a bit.
So, how about this weather where... Oh.
All right. Just really wish we could arrange this in the better way. I mean, I guess it is if we had a like we can, I guess, technically still do this and then battery onto something else. And battery onto Zoracid feels kind of shitty. Guess you could battery onto the catfish. Get our seaweed in here. Okay. See how that goes. But all right, with this, with Lone Shark, I don't think we're fast enough to beat a Lone Shark. He scales too high with the Shark Claws. Let's just come out. I mean, I guess we could go to the... Oh, the Dire Englet. Is this the one that has the... This is the one that has Obsidian. This isn't the one that has Diamond items. So let's just go to the Foreman. Oh, man, fighting hard for 4 wins. We're going to get some badass weapons now that we just sold our crow's nest. And so that's the way it always goes. Yes, we're doing fuck all for damage. We don't have any scaling. We're activating slow. We don't even have any of the skills getting plus poison. It takes forever to win these rounds.
Rally, men! Blades to the wind!
All right, well, the pufferfish was changed in the recent patch to where his poison scales a lot harder. We're just going to take the upgrade on him to get him up to 20 poison. I kind of feel like we would prefer to be a depth charge build. I almost always just prefer depth charge anyways, but you know, that's nowhere to be seen, and we got to get these 2 wins. Just like losing out on LP sucks so much, and so we got to fight hard for 4, and then we'll call it a real win if we get 7. And so I'm gonna take the upgrade on pufferfish here and count our blessings, I guess. The game break. But yeah, I think it's good to be in that mindset. That's a good place to get your brain when you have these builds that have just gone so wrong. Like, losing LP feels so bad in this, especially as we're trying to ramp up to legend before the season ends. It's like if you spend 45 minutes losing an LP, then you got to spend 45 minutes getting 7 wins to gain 1 LP back, like to be break even. It's such a hard split, and so I think we'll feel pretty good if we get this up to 4, and spectacular if we get this up to 7. But we had the Deadly Duel turn up. It's not going to give us anything in terms of this next round except experience points, but the burn shop Like, we just don't really have the money to go in and mess with. It doesn't provide items that we're really looking for. I mean, I guess it would be a way to come out and find a depth charge, but I'm okay with trying to be a pufferfish build. It's like we just need to find shot glasses. And I'm actually very interested in shot glasses with this battery, because it would get the shot glasses to pop off just like super fast. A 3-second cooldown item getting charged 2 seconds, just really amp up the activations onto the pufferfish. And so it is actually a very interesting angle that we have should that item decide to turn up. But we've talked about it before. You just can't build to shot glasses. It's so challenging to actually find. Like, if we find it, we'll be eternally grateful. But we're nowhere close to doing that at the moment. Now with this, we'll see how it goes. Like, I don't feel great about it. These builds are so strong with the Magnus Femur, but it is at least a little interesting when you're carrying Life Preserver against these builds, right? If you're going to be a one-shotting opponent, he's going to hit us for, say, like 1,000 damage a pop off the thing. Like, being able to just soak the hit off of the Life Preserver. Now, that was pretty brutal right there. He got us down to 69 and then popped us with the Magic Carpet, and that hit our Life Preserver and sent us back up. But we were able to soak through it. He doesn't have a ton of slow stuff out here to really get that femur popping off. Whew. Okay. Gotta like that. But right, if you're in a, say like a sniper rifle meta, then the Life Preserver gets so much more interesting. If your opponent's going to shoot you for 30,000 damage, then you just get to shrug it off once. And so that's kind of a bonus to have there. Now let's see. I guess we can go to Colt. Like, if we want to find a shot glasses, that's an ammo. There's some potential stuff otherwise. Arbalest would have been spectacular if we kept on to our Crow's Nest. Like, Arbalest Crow's Nest is a decent build, but again, I think we're just locked into Aquatic at this point. Yeah, I was trying to think if I wanted to speculate on it, just to give us that shot. But I mean, if we'd kept our Crow's Nest, then maybe, but it's just a bit too greedy. Alright, though, Mountain Pass turns up, get a PvE round, get those experience points. Maybe we get a bomb-ass skill. Never happens with this round. You're guaranteed to get Celestial Plumage, Cosmic Plumage. What's this guy called? Cosmic Plumage. Terrible-ass item's what it's called. Take your poor man's apropos chapeau. Is that what it is? Chapeau? Pretty sure I nailed the pronunciation on that one. Drop a big word on Bust, see if he can pronounce it. Which is more likely, Bust pronounce a big word good, or he does a math problem right, you know? Let's see. She got the amulet.
Let's take the tyrant's whole
Okay, and I'm leaning towards the poison skill here. I've been kind of pushing away from the gold skill just a little bit. I don't think we're generalist enough to be real happy with it. Like, we really need to find some kind of poison scaling, and that's what I'm hoping to find in here, right? This is why I don't really like going after these, is in the sense that these are all silver, and it's fairly weak in that way, but you got to get a big scaler. None of that's here. Like, it doesn't matter if leftmost or rightmost turns up. I want to try and find a better one. And we completely whiff. Fuck. That's bad. That's bad. It's like, I don't think we ever have a weapon on board. We definitely never have a large item on board. Toxic just never scales up enough. I guess we have to take the weapon thing. If we find obsidian, then I guess it does something. Fuck. Fuck me. Oh, that was bad. Man. Maybe we should have just taken Toxin Injectors, right? The one that hastes a poison item. It's just, like, we don't have Clamera yet, which is shitty. We haven't seen one the entirety of the run. And then also, we needed like the plus poison. That's where our pain is now. And I guess there was the +4 poison skill in there, but that doesn't actually scale to anything. It's gonna do like 15 poison over the course of the battle.
It's over already. We barely got off.
Alright, what you got for us? Gland. Awesome. Start getting salty, boys. It's about that time. It's about that time. So I guess we'll go back to this Mandala. We still got a gold item, but I mean, weapons and weapon damage aren't going to do anything for our build. Ooh, gold seaweed. He decided to quit completely shitting on us and at least give us a little bit of something. The skill upgrades. I guess we'll take the poison, the poison freeze. And come back at this. Do we want to keep both seaweeds in instead of having a pearl? Or I think we're good with the life preserver for another round or two. Pearl, we've gotten like one upgrade on it, right? We got that one Finn's Big Bite, but we don't have like a sideways shielding, whatever that shit's called, that gives like 40 shield to your items. And just doing 30 is not quite enough. I think I'd prefer to have the scaling with the seaweeds, especially when we get like the refresh and the life preserver. Okay.
I may be young for a captain, but
See
I've
what we can
seen
do.
my share of storms.
This is going to be a damage, Vanessa. It's single weapon. Very strong single weapons. Got left-handed, right-handed, bloodhound, and rigged. All to go under the single weapon. Oof. And of course our our freeze goes onto his worst item, as to be expected. All right, this is what it is. We gotta fetch up that one more win, boys. But man, I'd kill for those skills. He's got fucking everything in terms of the skills, right? Well, when you see the single weapon, he's got left-handed and right-handed. He's got the rig to get the insta haste, although he has a bunch of shit on board. He has the self-scaling and the crit, and then the bloodhound. He needs to get rid of that katana for a sniper rifle, and he'll be off to the races. All right. Well, what are we doing now? Head to the dig site, find something interesting, or get some money. And then I got bamboozled by the neurotoxin. It's like I know that we have the proboscis, and we have some potential to pop off with these slows. It's not going to pop off like Mac with a spider mace, but I don't think we'll have the weapons to make this useful. Still got to keep in the back of our head. It's like, well, what if we put tripwire in our build, right? So we have the proboscis, we can tripwire. We don't have the scaling slow skills, but you know those kind of things you gotta keep in mind. It's not going to work here, though. Up next, it's a diamond enchanted item. We can sell that for 16. That's what I'm looking at now. Just quit spending a ton of money this round.
Full sail, my boy.
Silver tier aquatic, what you got for us? More old salt claws. All right, that's fine. Now, we do have B1, B2. We can drop onto the catfish. I'm a little bit interested in just looking at weapons, or looking at items, but I guess it does give us a bit of scaling out here.
You say old. I say. Haha. Now this will inspire the crew.
All right, so that's fine. Got the poison opponent and Joyful Jack.
Steal my potion.
See what we can do.
Feast.
One win. So close, friends. Gotta fight hard for that. We're getting there. It's almost done. He has the good skill, right? When you poison, gain regen. Oh, when you heal, charge a poison. It's fine.
Compost, I am not.
Compost, I am not. What you got this one? Your heal items have 10 crit. Okay. Not bad with those seaweeds. What's up next? Go to the Artisan of the Dunes, put a bit more poison on the pufferfish. Sure. Get that +2 poison. Your first upgrade for the day. Got to appreciate that, my man. Now we got the scrap. Put that on our pearl. +12 shield. Good day. Alright, and so getting to the point where I don't entirely want Life Preserver anymore. So it's like maybe we put Pearl in and then get Cog out here just hasting onto the pufferfish. I think that's okay. Up against Pig. Yeah. I don't feel like we really want Life Preserver against Pig. Like he very rarely actually does damage, and Life Preserver is not that good if your opponent just has you at 500 burn. Right, you just insta die. You don't have to wait on a cooldown. So I think that's probably better to put the Pearl in. Okay. What do you got? He's got a weird ass collection of items. I guess that's a Pig's gem looking build, but it's weird seeing all that stuff. Like we're still just gonna get smoked. Our build's just that bad. It's just that bad, huh? It feels like, man, it's like we've got him at 200 poison, and it's still just like so far away from being enough. Our seaweeds, I think, finally came through at the end. Just takes so long for that damage to stack in. Thank you, seaweeds. You're our true savior on the day. Oof. Oh, man. Calling that a victory. Getting up to 4 wins, though. Feeling good about that. All right, what's up next? So we got upgrade to Catfish. We've got the Jellyfish as a haste activator for Pufferfish. That's great. Might as well take the Cannonball as well, huh? Sell this shit we're never going to use. Kind of like how we sold our Crow's Nest preemptively. Just get that shit out of here, you know? And here, not gonna use any of that. Okay. So that looks good. Not looking for Radiant, right? We need a big upgrade at this point. We'll just go to the Artist, drop it on the Pufferfish, see if we hit Fiery, see if we hit Toxic. We hit Turbo, which is kind of fine, I guess. It's a weaker target for it, but you know, Turbo on dive weights isn't what we really need. It upgrades the haste timing to where this at least gives us an extra haste activator. He's gonna self-charge a little bit, so that's kind of nice. Now we're done with Mandala. Let's go get the small items, I guess. Why do we still have Coral? Just been hanging out down there at the end. We're never going to use that. Holsters is a little interesting, since we're an all-small board. I could probably get behind using holsters. Just try and get that pufferfish popping off a little bit faster, like put in holsters. And then we can say put the jellyfish in here next to the dive weights. We're going to want the dive weights, and then we'll have to watch this combat. Hopefully I don't forget, but we'd ideally be whatever activates more between, you know, the pufferfish, the pearl, and the dive weights. We want those two next to the jellyfish. Do we still want to be rolling with batteries at this point? Like, the catfish is not a real high impact target, right? It's not getting a ton of slows stacked onto it. Still feels like a bit of a necessity for the dive weights, though. Let's just focus on damage. Alright, and then we'll watch to see who stacks in more. So we'll fight the Revenant. He's got some poison stuff. See how quickly I can swing past the end of the battle and skip the skip looking at our activations. Alright, well, the poison's at least stacking in a little bit faster now, right? It's getting up to 400 for the round, about to broach 500. It's by no means a Guinness World Records amount of poison on the opponent, but certainly better than what we were doing in the previous round. Just huge upgrades hitting the jellyfish there. Now with this, we've got 21 on the dive weight, 16 on the pufferfish, so that's where we'll want the jellyfish, right? The pearl's not bringing in more activates for us. Okay. What's up next? Gonna look at Finn's big bite. I wouldn't mind putting more shields onto the pearl.
Food is gonna make you
140 HPs while we're at it. What's up next? Hit up the item shop.
come on in.
Just not a fan of that rando place, the random skill thing. I am a fan of Tropical Island though. Are we ever gonna have the money for this? What do we got? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14. It gets us up to 25 if we sell our bag. Right, let me sell the weaker stuff first to make sure I didn't add that wrong. Yeah, 25 exactly. Won't be that great this round, but
Come back for a refund.
little bit of scaling coming in there. Now with this, I'll take the poison skill again. Let's see if we get burnt for it. Just the shitters all over again. The weapon thing and toxic. I mean, I guess we'll do the +2 poison so that we have something. But man, it's not what you're really looking for at your level 11 upgrade. Just +2 poison on some of my stuff. Kinda shitty. What's this guy got? Oh, he's got the slow skill when you slow charge. Hopefully he's not taking too much advantage of that. Oh, he's got a fucking heavy power drill to go with that. Gotta love seeing that. It's like it's insta-activating, but just not dealing any damage. But that freeze was a pain. Oh no. Okay, we got there at the very end. I was watching his health, and he had like 15 more health than we had poison on him, and so I just assumed we were going to get smoked. But a lot of scary shit coming out of that round. Okay, good job, fellas. Good job. Guess we could Mandala, like the gold citrus if we wanted. We don't really have any money. Why not? You owe us one, buddy. Ambergris. Fuck you. just this guy's a dick. Never does anything good for us. Alright, well, I'll take the regen, I guess. That's fine. Not the greatest of opponents here. We could probably beat the Void Colossus. Try and high roll on this. Like, I know the Trash Titan's a for sure win, but he doesn't offer us up anything. Having the Void Colossus just blow up an item's not that bad. And, I mean, there's definitely a world to where if we do actually win this round and we get the Eye of the Colossus, like, we're fairly well tuned to taking advantage of that thing. Let's see, he's got his perma shield thing going, but don't care about it too much with our poison doing the work. Okay.
Was that even a battle?
What you got, friend?
Skirmish.
Which one's this? When you burn haste. Okay. Well, it doesn't do anything for us now, but if we're able to, you know, like drop fiery on the dive weights or something, that's a humongous upgrade for our board. Let's see, don't want the ammo item. What you got for us? Medkit. That's fine. Just check out the skills. Get something that's going to be guaranteed good. Ooh, man, this is a good arbitrage, right? We're going to make it like 2 more rounds, spend 20 gold, and get 4 of it back, maybe? Pass. So charge weapons, don't want. Large items, don't have. Looks like we just whiffed across the board. 2 freeze skills. I mean, I guess the freeze reload technically does something 1 time. we get that 1 freeze off of our poisons, and so pass.
We're gonna need a bigger.
All right, got an extract though. A little bit more juice for the puffer fish. All right. Round 10 up against Dooley. He's got 7 wins to our 5.
My fight isn't with you, but
See if he's doing something dumb. we just need some more dually builds that aren't quite there. Then maybe we can do it. This is a combat core. Oh, it's a bill. Okay. It's got the full set of bugs out there. At least got our poison up and running. Not certain if it's enough. Doesn't seem like we're actually dealing any damage this round. Nope. 48% chance to crit. Okay. Alright, let's see what turns up. See if we find fiery on the end chance. Maybe give us that chance to shoot up to 7. Nope, just trying to get radiant on everything. I feel you. I feel you. So we'll take the rando. I'm gonna put it on the dive weights. It's our next strong option out here. Poison. Okay.
This is why I wear red.
It's at least kind of on theme.
Won't see me bleed.
So what do we got? Let's jump out here into the small items. See if we get an upgrade. See if we find a shot glasses. Nothing on day 1. Nothing on day 2. Pretty average. Lots of weapons turning up out there. Non-weapon items now. Upgrade to Pearl. Should be pretty straightforward at this point. I'm curious if card table is not something we ever want. Right? What if we say take catfish? Oh, we can't take jellyfish out, right? Jellyfish is our big haste activator for pufferfish, but like landing a multicast onto pufferfish is pretty big, given how shitty our board is. Like, what if we take out catfish and pearl, and then just try and go all in on card tabling onto pufferfish? You know, at this point, why not, right? We gotta we gotta have something go right for us to get up to 7 wins. And so why not just take it that way? I mean, I guess we could take out holsters instead. Like if we take out holsters and catfish, why need to take catfish out just to make it a little easier to try and multicast onto the pufferfish? And then we're just got a super big dick it out here putting the battery powered card table, right? Okay, I'm on board. I don't think we can beat Awakened District. We're not going to take down any of his shields, and so maybe the experiment. I guess if we get his skill, then we'll have a reason to take Cannonball out, maybe. Oh, wrong one. That's okay. I thought he had the one that when you used an ammo, you recharge the ammo next to it. So we got multicast on the jellyfish. Bummer. Multicast on the jellyfish. Bummer. Just get it out of the way this round, huh? We'll we're gonna save our pufferfish RNG for the big rounds against the players. I can dig it. I can dig it.
Pathetic, as spineless as a jellyfish. Let's take the tyrant's
What do we got?
whole
Item upgrade.
kingdom.
Dropping it on the card table takes it down to a 2-second cooldown. I think that's actually where we want to be. Right? You can get the guaranteed upgrade in the pufferfish, or you can just high roll even harder onto the card table. I know what I'm about. I don't know if you figured it out yourself yet, but I know what I'm about. So, look at that. The 2-second cooldown happening there. I can dig it. We're going to Mandala anything. We got another gold item if we want to in here. Bullshit. Typical Mandala.
All of this is like a gift from the sea.
Alright, into the aquatics. Get our diamond jellyfish out here. Gotta dig that. How much money can we get? 12, 14? See what turns up. Nothing. Okay. Now, I know that you all forgot to squeeze your cheeks earlier, but we really need to pull it in on this one, right? we need the card table to do its thing onto this pufferfish, and then that's gonna just fucking pop.
Underestimate me. It makes this
It's like a damage Vanessa coming at us. Gonna be a trebuchet out to the left. Obsidian trebuchet. Ooh, scary. Puts the freeze on our card table. This guy's a dick. He's just gonna kill us before we even activate anything.
You fall like
The power of using holsters, I guess. Oh, so everything's so bad. Losing to this build's bullshit too. It's like, why are you using shot glasses. It doesn't even do anything. Oh, what a sick round to lose. Well, I guess that's one of the reasons to not take out holsters when we're out here on day 11, right? We probably should have just taken out Pearl. It's just like, well, like it doesn't affect card table, it doesn't affect cannonball, it doesn't affect pufferfish, and so like it's not going to do anything to half of our items on the board. But I don't know, getting it to activate on dive weights and battery might be enough to, I guess, want us to have that on board.
Each bounty gets us
And so, man, what a
closer to
bummer there at
victory.
the end. That was going to be badass as shit, getting the card tables under the pufferfish. I will admit that card table activation did go under the pufferfish, so we popped it off there, but not what we're looking for at the end of the day. And so, a few things to say about this one. Card table is actually a real item. This is not the build for it here. Well, I guess it's not a terrible place for it. I think at the end of the day, would probably just prefer to say maybe of... like not had cannonball on board, taken battery out, and then hopefully just had some bonus ammo onto the dive weights, but we didn't find any bonus ammo the whole way. But nonetheless, like I do want to mention card table. It is a real item. It works fantastically with Shark Ray and a Crow's Nest build. And so if you find yourself in kind of the dive weights Crow's Nest space, right? So you've got a Crow's Nest, so you're going to go single weapon. You've got a dive weights. The dive weights works nicely with things like the scaling hastes, and so you have Arbalest, you have Shark Ray, you have to a lesser degree things like Mr. Saltclaw. If you're in that kind of sphere and you land on the Shark Ray, the card table works fantastically with it. Dropping a bunch of multicasts onto your big single item build finisher is not a bad deal. But in this build is kind of meh. We didn't find any of the big like high-powered stuff this round to make pufferfish not trash, and so it did at least give us a high-powered option for the pufferfish to just drop 2, 3, 4 multicasts on top of it. But at the end of the day, our build is just garbage here on day 11, and that ties into the thing I wanted to really mention at the beginning, was just our usage of Mandala, right? And I do think it's a kind of interesting space again with Mandala, to where that Vanessa has 3 bronze items. She has Trebuchet, she has Crow's Nest, and she has Cove. And the Crow's Nest is such an important build around item that doesn't turn up as often now that we have the extra 20 cards in the Vanessa packs, that it's just much more challenging to find, right? You used to be able to go to the aquatic shop and find it. The most recent set added in like 8 aquatic items, and so it's a lot harder there. You go to the large item shop, now you're contending with both Sea Dog Saloon and Captain's Quarters, so they added 2 large items in the patch. Like, it's just much more challenging to find Crow's Nest, and that is a way to potentially do it. So you have a Cove, you have a Trebuchet, you roll it at Mandala, hopefully find your Crow's Nest that way if you're at the bronze tier level. And so it's interesting to kind of keep that in mind, but the hits can be so bad in the early game, right? Like, buying a Cove is super risky. It's just dog shit in this patch, and it seems more of kind of like a mid-game play to me, as to where you've got a bit of extra money in the bank. You pick up a Cove so that you can kind of speculate on maybe finding Crow's Nest, but it's not the key like build around of your build, right? And so it did get us into some trouble here, right? We went the high flying route, trying to do the Mandala onto the large item. We turned our Trebuchet into a water wheel, which we dealt with for like a day. Then we turned our water wheel into a port, which is just dog shit, and we had to get rid of. And all of that is very memey, right? That's not something that I think is really safe enough to be doing as a real build around kind of element. But something to keep in your kit in the mid game if you're really trying to dig for a Crow's Nest. Then the bronze is your best hope, but that also gives you some ways to try and convert into one. Otherwise, nothing too crazy here. We've after we navigated that shit show of a first few days, we got into a very medium quality pufferfish build. This would have had the potential to really pop off had we found a shot glasses, but shot glasses was nowhere to be found. Right? We've been down this path many a times. You can't make builds that need a shot glasses to show up. You have to kind of take some picks speculatively. And if it shows up, you're going to pop off. And then if it doesn't show up, you didn't take that speculative path. And so at least with this, with the pufferfish angle, you have some kind of out, right? You have the option to dive weights, jellyfish, pufferfish is still kind of a classic combo of items, but it lacks on the scaling, right? The scaling is where this really hurts, into where the depth charge builds get to just be so much stronger. You get to Yeti Crab depth charge, and that's all the scaling you need on its own. This build doesn't get it, and so I feel like if you start off with a good poison skill, you find a poison unit early, then this is something that should be able to carry you to 7 with a fair amount of consistency. But at the end of the day, I think if you're looking for that 10 win mark with a pufferfish build, it's really a shot glasses or bust kind of thing. But nonetheless, good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So if everyone enjoyed the video, if you ever learned a thing or two along the way, you had a good time watching. This is Bust and We. Thank you for being here.